exactly that. And guess what? 46% said yes. Nearly half the country saying yes. 37% said the media does not fabricate stories about the president. 17% undecided. But among Republican voters, 76% say the media is inventing stories, while a mere 11% don't think so. Joining us right now with reaction is Kayleigh McEnerney, spokesperson for the Republican National Committee. Kayleigh, good to see you.
Hey, Trish, good to see you too.
What to tell you when nearly half the country and the majority of Republicans believe that the media is making up stories about President Trump?
The American people are very discerning, and they've caught on to the media game. They can't be fooled. They look at the long litany of false news stories, and I'll just give you a few, Trish. NBC had to issue a correction because they made up a story about the RNC being in Paul Manafort's notes. The New York Times was actually disputed by James Comey, their February New York Times story that he called in the main not true. CNN retracting a story about Scaramucci being involved in the Russia investigation. A Times reporter saying President Trump removed the MLK bus from his office. The AP saying that, in fact, the EPA administrator had a meeting with Dow Chemical that never happened. These are five just in the last few months. They're making up stories. The American people see right through it.
Are they trying to take him down? I mean, do you think that there is such a bias in the media right now that, first of all, no matter what he does, he's damned if he does, he's damned if he doesn't? I mean, you see that the phone call that he tried to make to the soldier's wife, he has gotten so badly criticized for. But beyond that, even just all the rumor and innuendo, it's as though these reporters get some little nugget that they hear from someone somewhere, and they run with it in a way to hurt him, to try and hurt the administration, but often in a very irresponsible way because they haven't triple-checked their sources.
That's exactly right, Trish, and it definitely appears that way when you suggest a takedown of President Trump. Don't take it from me. Take it from a Harvard Kennedy School study that showed that 80% of the media's coverage of President Trump is, in fact, negative. That's historic. That's beating negativity towards Obama by a long shot, and Bush. The only organization that this Harvard study found that was on parity with negative and positive coverage was this organization right here, Fox News, which is actually doing its job. So it's frustrating, but here's one thing the media failed to take into account. This president's a fighter. He will fight back. He won't take this lying down, and he's beating them at their own game. When you see a poll like the one you just showed, 46% of people think the media is making things up. President Trump is winning.
Well, and certainly, regardless of what you think of polls, he's way ahead of the media in terms of how the American public feels about the media right now. So you say he's beating them at their own game. That's so interesting, Kayleigh, because if you think about it, nobody's ever tried this game before. Nobody's ever been so combative, certainly not like we're seeing it. And you have so many people, it's not presidential, it's not this, it's not that. But if you have everyone coming at you in the media, how do you respond? I mean, how do you go back at them if they're making up stories?
You fight back because historically we've seen Republican politicians take it lying down. They just stay silent. They take the punches from the media. They take the negativity. But President Trump is fighting back. And what you're seeing are the American people are recognizing it. When you have a poll that more than 50%, edging on 60% of viewers feel that either they're undecided on whether the media is making stories up or they actively believe it to be true, that means he's exposing the media. When the people are siding with him on the NFL anthem, he's breaking through the filter. The first person who's done it in my generation, certainly, and I think in the last few decades.
It's fascinating to watch indeed. Kayleigh, thank you very much. Good to see you tonight.
Thank you, Trish.